Here we are. Hello and welcome. It is Sunday. Running a little early today. This is Snowbirds meeting room. I'm working on the profile um, to get it to work with this new software that I'm running, so I have to work on that during the week. I'm Shadow Spectre 11, and I'm here with Miss Charmy, Demento, Everett, Rags, Redtail, and Tone. And this week is all about 4.0 preview, the fixes that are inbound, and a new PTU that will be starting hopefully next week. Around Thursday, we should see that coming. And what quality of life we would like to see, or things that we're having issues with now being fixed. So let me get that on. Okay, so gonna kick this over and get into profile. Kill that. Okay, so there was a question about the minimum requirements of the game. Hey, Billy's Brew, what's up? Tone asked this about the minimum requirements, and this is something that has been changing, but they're still showing uh, that you could have Windows 10 anniversary, 16 gigabyte plus RAM and an SSD. Hey Brian, what's up? Um, Tone ran into an issue with his system last night. He was doing a
Oh,
download. Go ahead.
you're
I
responding to a question.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. What was the
I'm not.
issue that you're having?
It was. It was here. Unless you want me to describe my issues.
Describe your issue.
Okay, cool. I was having two different conversations. All right. What was happening was I would load into game and it would take a while for everything to load up. I have mismatched sticks of memory so that I can have 16 because I'm on a low to no budget with my build. I'm running an A. I'm running a 970 NVIDIA graphics card with a Core i7 6700 processor. I took one stick out of my computer last night, cleaning everything and see if it would run on that, and it would not. Will not run on 16. You have to have at least 24 for a playable experience. So I'm saying that the minimum requirements that they have current are wrong.
Okay. So give me a second. So you guys, the mic is sounding different. It's sounding hollow still. That's something I'm working on. So give me a little bit. Um, I'll try to fix it. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
The minimum requirements need to be at least a 1080 and 24 gigs of RAM. It won't run under that.
Hmm.
And that's with everything on my system turned off. It's basically running just minimal background and this game. And then if I want a better experience, I have to turn my second monitor off and drop out of Discord.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So that's right. You always had to shut down Discord and then start it up.
yeah, just to get the load in.
Hmm. Okay, so how's it sounding now, Billy? Like I say, I'm still working on the mic issue. Is it better now that I'm closer? You won't see a chat window in this one because I'm running the other profile. So I have to get that fixed, hopefully within the next couple days, so I can get the Snowbirds meeting room back the way it's supposed to be.
Trying to get an issue council thing, but I gotta put in my system information so they. What is my memory? How do I know the uh
What do you mean, Miss
here?
Charmy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was on mute. Never mind. I apologize.
No, you're fine. Hey, Brian.
Hey, for me, it was an echo. Sounds like an echo on my YouTube stream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
That's
hearing it like? Is it just me coming through?
just you. Just you.
Yeah, it's the mic. I've got to make an adjustment to that. So I appreciate you letting me know about it because there's something that I have to change in there. Okay, give me one moment. Let's see.
I usually just drop the volume on YouTube and I won't get that echo. Because Discord is talking at the same time, and then later your voice will show up.
Is it, are you getting a media loop? Are you getting a loop?
I'm not getting a loop. The only thing I have, you sound fine in Discord, like when I'm in it, but only issue I was having was it just sounds like an echo. It sounds like you're like in one of those
In a cave.
wrapping paper tubes. Like yeah, like a wrapping paper tubes, and you would talk through the tube, like a
Yeah.
paper towel tube or something. Yeah.
Yeah. That I've got to fix. Okay. Okay. That's something I got to work on. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this one out. Task manager. Task manager performance tab will show memory info. Yeah. Um. So with Tone's issue, this is something that's going to come up with a lot of people's systems. If you don't have enough space on your SSD, if you don't have enough memory, your video card's not right, and things like that. With Vulkan was supposed to relieve a lot of this coming. Right now, it's not taking advantage of the multi-threading on your processor. So that's why it's still in beta. They haven't dropped that to it yet. And once that's in, Vulkan will be a lot smoother and cleaner, from what I gather. Shadow got that auto tune. uh, so, Everett, being in the 4.0, I know, like I said, for many years you were waiting for Pyro to drop. And
Yes.
what quality of life do you see that you would like to have with 4.01 that's coming out? What would you like to see in there, and what would you like to work? That's the main thing.
That's a list. Let's see. I would like to use my purchased gear and be able to have it returned to me if I got killed or got lost or whatever. So this way I can use my particular armors or my particular weapons, and knowing full well that I don't have to reinstall the game in order to get them back. That's all.
Okay. I know. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that was it. I just
Okay. Rags, with you being a new player, how long have you been playing Rags?
I think since probably September.
Okay, so you're very new. I'm just going to say you're green to the game at this point.
Yes. Yeah. Now, I joined back in 2015, but I was like, no, I'm not touching this until it gets to a certain point. And after watching some of the improvements that happened, I really got interested in it back in August. I had some guys streaming it, and they were showing some of the bunker runs. And I was like, oh, I'll try this. And really, it's pretty amazing to see what the changes have been just for me in that short time frame. But I can't imagine what long-term players have done. I've just been kind of, snooping around it, ghosting around the outside to see what was happening for years. And I am enjoying it, just not right now.
And well, with the issues that are popping up for you, and for all of us, actually, it's been a rough go from the first day it dropped. It started out beautifully. Then, as after a couple days, there was a lot of the overlapping hangers and all like that. So CIG took the spawn point and put it back in the halves because there was a lot of issues with that coming up. What about the? And I know I particularly like spawning in the hangar. It was very smooth. Get in quick, go on about your business, and move on. I know Brian got the game a long
I
time
got it at
ago as well.
318. Yeah, 318 is when I came in. But I got it a long time ago when all you could do was have a ship. There wasn't much
Walk
to do.
around
And
in
then
the hangar.
and I didn't even have a hangar then.
Wow.
And then I didn't care too much for it. And the machine that I had at the time was a $5,000 gaming computer, and it didn't run well at all. So I just kind of typed in chat, is there any way to get my money back? And then the next day my account was gone.
I think I heard that patch 318 was down for like 90 days or something like that. Is that right?
318 ran beautifully in the PTU, and when it dropped to live, it was, I'm just going to say it was a train wreck. A lot of people could not get in for months,
It was a month for me.
and uh, when you did get in, it was hit or miss. Um, it didn't start really becoming stable until 319. And then 319 kicked it off where it was much better than normal. I can't say it was much better than normal. It was stable. 317, we were all basically, a lot of us were all in 317. And that was a very, very stable patch. It was a long cycle because they were working on persistent entity streaming coming, and it just took a massive dive when it hit the live servers. There was a massive influx of players coming into 318, and I don't think that they were ready for it. That's my opinion. But after it got past that point and it went to 319, it got better. And I think Tone and Brian and Miss Charmy and everybody here can agree that it was much better. Rags, you be glad you weren't involved in that one. I'm just gonna say it.
Hey, I'm in the game right now, so I'm pretty happy.
318 was a rough patch. They said that it was the worst, the roughest patch that came out since 3.0. 3.0, I don't think anybody could play it. It was like constant disconnects or crashes or something like that. I don't know. I
I'm
wasn't
thinking it was
involved.
Vandu sponsored.
That is the infamous patch. Yeah. Yeah, 318 was pretty rough. Um, so now that we've gone out of 324, I haven't been in 324 for about 3 weeks. So I don't
I haven't
know
been
what
in
the
either. Yeah.
I haven't been in there. I don't know what the status is on it. If it's totally messed up or anything like that, that I don't know. Um, what is your opinion on the changes from 24 to 4.0? I know it was 24 was getting rough to play for a while, and it just made it really hard to get past some of the issues that were there. But the night and day difference between 24 to 3 to 4.0, where you actually see the NPCs moving around and doing stuff, were you able to complete missions in 24 or no? Anybody?
Yes. I took my first cargo run from Fort Tesler to New Babbage and another planet close by. Fort Tesler to New Babbage, no problem. And then I flew off to the other planet, and then I could not drop my freight into the freight elevator. It wouldn't complete that mission.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only other problem for that. And then I also found out if I accept missions in New Babbage to go up the Fort Tesler or
Mm-hmm.
Tressler, I would get that image overlay over my hangar where I couldn't leave. And how I corrected that was to get out, back to menus, and then reload in, and then I was able to leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Miss Charmy, I know you and I have been working on cargo, and it's been a little bit better for you than me at this point, but what are you thinking about it at this point in time compared to 24?
I had an easier time in 24 just because the of the issues that we're having with the different bugs and stuff that are occurring. However, the pay is much better. So I like the new system, but if it's not working right, it's just not. It what should only take 30 minutes to 45 minutes to accomplish is taking an hour and a half, almost 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
with bugs and things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for a person like me, for an example, not everybody's like this, but I I have limited gameplay during the week. And so when I want to hop on, if it's every day, I only have like 2 hours really. I'd like to be able to accomplish more than, you know, getting, one round of runs going in 2 hours at that point to make it more productive for myself.
Agreed. I mean, I've been able to be on more and be in the game longer, and I've come across some massive things that are game blockers on progression. It's been a rough go for me. Uh, I'm gonna say I had a reclaimer full of CM in the hoppers, and I was coming back to Microtech to land and you know get the CM out of the hopper. Go to land in the hangar. There was a ship there, and they took off because they were overlapping in my hangar. It took off, flipped me over, and blew up the ship. And you talk about a soul crusher. I was like, okay, step away before you get too mad. I mean, it hurt my heart because I'd been out there for at least like an hour or so, and then it was going to take me another hour and a half to get everything straightened out, and then throw it out and then put it in freight elevator. But the overlapping hangers are a big issue, and that's one thing I will be glad when they fix that. Hopefully, with the hot fixes that they're talking about dropping. Uh, Demento, I know you've been in the game for a long time. How long have you been playing?
All in all, a couple of years, I guess.
Okay.
But it's probably the once I got into it, I really I play a lot of hours when I can. So
Okay.
and I try to spread myself around and do different things. Since 4.0, as we were talking about earlier, with the quality of life kind of lacking right now, it kind of forces you to do some of the other I guess blue collar jobs, the mining, the salvaging. It's been a lot easier of a go if you want to just have a good time and not feel like you were saying having your soul ripped out because you know you did just did something
Mm-hmm.
like a door shut on you and for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Um, and we all know it's happened to all of us here. Um, But yeah, missions for me have not been working hardly at all. I've been doing bunkers. I've been trying my darndest to do bunkers, but to almost, I can complete some of the missions, but it's not even worth it. They don't. There's like nothing there to find, so you can't be a loot goblin. You just kind of. So I'm waiting for those quality of life things to be fixed. I think that's the most important thing to me.
Right. Well, I'm going to say this. I've been doing some salvage. I've done some rock mining. I've done bunkers and things like that. I have been doing uh, more bunkers right now because I'm gathering uh, weapons and things like that. So I don't have to buy them, and that way, if I die, I have a weapon there. So I've been gathering those on my little runs and stuff like that. Uh, the video that I was going to put out uh, this past over the weekend, it did not pan out the way I wanted. So I'm going to do something else. It's going to be a little late trying to get it out because I have to redo it. And it's a series that I started in August before we got Pyro. So it's going to be a continuation of that, but I'm going to uh, do it with the galactic map that we have on the website, and then it's going to transition into Pyro, where I'm actually going to go to the planet that I would show in the Galactopedia map. So I think that will give you an idea of what we'll see when we get there, and then go at it from that aspect. So I will be running Spectre 12 in Pyro. I just added him there today and look at it through his eyes. So that's what I'm gonna
So kind of like an exploration.
Mm-hmm. Just a total exploration series on that. Not making any money, not doing anything major with him, but he's going to be the explorer, checking stuff out, see what's there, and then you know, we'll I'll take Spectre 11 over and do the money gathering and stuff like that. So I think that'll be a good change for him to get out and see what's going on. So I'll be working on it. It may not be out today. It'll be out during the week sometime. Uh, the 4.01, the PTU. They said they left some things out of 4.0 because they didn't have the time to get them in. I'm wondering what those things are, and I'm not exactly sure where we can see those things unless I go into some YouTube videos or something like that. Tone, I know you've been in Pyro a lot.
Yes, sir.
What uh what have you encountered that you feel that should be in the new PTU build? What will
As
make
far
it
as
better?
what would make it better, the mission marker's working for one thing, because that's a big issue over here.
Hmm.
Another thing too is they need to set the loot, the junk cleanup
Mm-hmm.
to a higher setting so that it only sits there for a while and not like months.
Hmm.
And that will help frame rates for everybody because the game itself is not spawning in a whole bunch of excess crap that is not necessary.
Okay. Okay.
Those two things would be awesome.
I totally agree. I think there was some things that needed to be implemented. Um, there was supposed to be an aggressive type of cleanup that was supposed to be done. If something has been there for a certain amount of time, it was supposed to wipe it away. Like, okay, say a large ship was blown up or destroyed or something like that. If nobody salvaged it or something like that, or if you could salvage it, it might be wiped away before you got there, supposedly. Um,
Well,
that will help the situation. Go ahead.
it's been talked about a lot. Cleanup of ships around the station. If we could get contracts just to clean those up, it creates a money loop for salvage people that's right there. And in the pyro area, the stations themselves are conflict zones, so that you have, if you're salvaging, you have to defend yourself, which I think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more talking about the bottles and trash armor and stuff like that, that is little bitty items that can add up into the hundreds on a server in a heartbeat because people just throw their bottles down. If they would despawn immediately, that would save a lot of processor time, even though it's a itty bitty thing. That adds up.
Well, there was an issue. I think with 24, where a lot of the junk would pile up and pile up and pile up, and it wouldn't be deleted, even though you didn't see it.
Right.
There was an issue with that, and that was crashing the build. So they said they fixed it in 24. I think that it's working in 4.0. I don't know, but that was an issue where we would be in the PTU, and then all of a sudden they said that there was all this extra entities just laying there where we could see them, but the servers knew they were there and they were piling up, and then it would crash it. So with the aggressive cleanup that they said that they put in, I think that's something that was being done, but I can't say for sure. Uh, when Miss Charmy, Brian, Kaz, and Everett and myself went to Monox in Pyro.
That was fun.
That was a massive desync. A massive desync. Miss Charmy could fly around. Miss Charmy could fly around without a problem, but everybody that was on the Polaris could not move. We had issues that were insane. And when we left Monox and went to another DGS, everything was fine. I got killed. I had to go to another. Yeah, you were fine.
No, not once we went.
Once y'all got
In
to the
Pyro. But when we went back to Stanton, all of a sudden, I was the one that was out of sync.
Right. It was weird. Go ahead, Tone.
I have forgotten where the advanced HUD's toggle is.
It's in your MFDs and then go to the HUD. Is that what you're talking about?
All right. Yeah, I'm
if you-
trying to get my
Yeah. No, you go to your MFD, go down to where, and then select in the HUD part, and you can turn them on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's another place you can do it too. You can actually do it in the options where it automatically.
In the options? Okay.
In the options.
I've already been there.
Okay.
Hi, Dar.
What's up, Dar?
What's up, guys?
So, with that, I found I like the advanced HUD. Now, there's certain ships
Yeah,
that
so do I.
I won't turn it on in because it clutters it. The 600i, for example, I won't use it in that one because it doesn't work well. I just don't turn it on in that one. But other ships, it works much better.
I'll be right back.
Yep. So what's up, Dyer? What do you got on your mind?
Nothing. Just want to say hi. See how's everybody.
Well, we're in the Snowbirds meeting room, so give me your opinion right now of 4.0 and what would you like to see? What fix would you like to see implemented in 4.0.1?
I've been playing a lot of Pyro, probably more than anybody here. And honestly, I would say they might want to maybe tweak the hanger recalls, because many times that I brought up hangers, maybe in Stanton as well for you guys, is that I'll bring up a ship in Pyro at one of the stations, and it'll look like it appears in my hangar, go to my hangar, and it's not there. And then when I try to recall it, and it says destroyed. So you have to, whatever you had on the ship, if you had a cargo container, and I had a cargo container with a lot of stuff, lost. I would say maybe fix the the ship recalls. Another thing is maybe the improvements on the on when you get stuck in a shard and you have to wait until 10 to 15 minutes to try to go to a different server. I think they should fix that issue as well, because you don't want to be stuck doing nothing, and you can play so much Arena Commander, but I think they should fix that feature. I think everybody agrees on this one: falling through the planets or falling through your ship. I think they should definitely fix that issue, especially if you're doing a mission and you're like, now I have to go back to whatever station or home base that you're at. And God forbid if you're in Pyro and you forgot to, fix your spawn point and you have to go back to Stanton. I mean, we've all done it. I've done it. So that, and then I would say I think they should be at 30K protection style when it comes to server issue, when you have that server lag where you have to wait until that server issue is done, and when it's done you lose that mission. I think they should have like a sort of a 30K protection when it comes to server error. I think they should have like a little server error protection. So if you're in the middle of a cargo run or a bounty mission or any mission that you're almost there to that moment of like, okay, completing, and then you get a server error, then you spend all that time doing cargo run or all that time fighting the ships or enemies on the ground. I think they should have a little protection on that, because you wasted up to around 30 to an hour of your time trying to complete the mission, and you get a server error, and then you're back to step one.
Yeah.
And one last thing is, when it comes to rep, I've heard a lot of other people where they're like, okay, I'm almost to senior contractor, and then boom, it drops you down to all the way to the bottom for some strange reason, and I think there should be like a little protection buffer where, they shouldn't have to start all over again for, CIG or, the game's fault, where like, oh, okay, we're going to start GG0 again. You have to waste a whole other 2 days that you've been, grinding, and you have to start all over. So maybe a little, server protection or some kind of protection block where it'll save your status and doesn't pull you back. But it'll pull you. I mean, I understand if they pull you back because, let's say you're not supposed to kill this faction, and that's totally understandable. But as a person just doing it legit by the book and then drops down to 0, that gets a kind of annoying. But that's all in my mind, sir.
Okay. Well,
Hey, Dyer, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Inside the hangars in Pyro, do you get that little piece of debris in the middle of your hangar?
Oh yeah, it's just just for looks, but you do have that little stuff on the ground, but it doesn't. It's just there for looks only. But
no, she's talking about above when the doors open.
Yeah, when it opens up, you're gonna.
You fall through it. So I've experienced that where you see your ship coming up, and then you run to it and you fall with the ship, but it brings you back up again, or you die. I've done that a few times, but what I've done so far is when the ship's up and those little barriers go away, I count to 5 Mississippi, then I walk through to the ship, because it seems like when that barrier goes down, like with the few seconds people run like I have, and then it glitches and you're dropping to the floor of the hangar, underneath the hangar, and you're dead. So I've done the whole 5 Mississippi thing, and then I haven't so far. It's been working for me if I do that method. So, but they might have to fix that too. But that's my way to sort of not sort of preventing that of me falling to my death.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it.
I haven't really encountered any hangar issues over in Pyro when I was there, Everett, but I think leaving a hangar, there was one time we were entering a hangar and we got flipped over, and then we tried to go inside, and then all of a sudden it just did not set up right, and we fell inside and we were stuck and we couldn't get out. But that was an EPTU, I think. And then we died. There was no way we could get out of it. It was just really messed up.
There was that video I sent you about when we got back from into New Babbage, and we were landing. The next thing you know, the ship disappeared or whatever. But the thing is, we ended up on top of a hangar with no roof.
Yeah, we've had that happen.
I don't know why, for the life of me, I said, "Quick, run to the edge, we'll die."
But the thing is, the instance hangars and the persistent hangars have been having I think the instance hangers have been working better in some aspects than the persistence.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to fix that, how they're going to fix the overlap. I have no idea. Uh, okay, so we're on the cusp of a new PTU. Uh, gonna go to Evocati first. Uh, I would I would say. Uh, then we should hit wave one. Not sure how that's gonna go. We'll see what happens and go from there. But it's a day by day process. When they start throwing builds out for the PTU, as we know, it's gonna be a total reset. You're gonna figure out where you're gonna go and all that type of stuff. So that's coming. Um, I don't know if I will have access to it right off the bat. I have no idea. I'm hoping that I will. And if they do what they did last time, where Evocati can stream it, we'll be able to see it. And hopefully, Space Guy Ty will cut us some slack and so we can see what's going on with it and how it works. But uh, I still say, and I think everybody can agree, that this was a big step. We got Pyro before the end of the year, and that was big. That was huge.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Even though it's in preview and it is live, and all of your progression and things like that will transfer over when it goes to live, it was a big step. The first day, I had some issues, and then the next day, it was much better for me. But who had major issues on day one when it dropped?
More like who didn't have major issues on day one when it dropped?
Okay, who didn't?
I don't. I don't think I did. The hanger issues I had were a few days later when I noticed that when I called my ship at the NBIS terminals and I go into my hangar, when I go to my hangar, which says Captain Boomer medium hangar or whatever, the thing is, when I went down there, I didn't see my ship. But what I didn't realize is that as I'm looking around, my actual ship was 1 kilometer away. So I went back into the hangar, and then I hit Captain Boomer's hangar again. And then it took me to the area where my ship was, which was not my hangar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing the NBIS terminal sent me to an instance hangar for my ship, which separated from my persistent hangar.
Okay. Okay. That makes
I
sense.
actually recorded that too.
That makes sense. Okay. Brian, did you have any issues day one?
No. Actually, it's running rather well on my low-end PC.
Nice.
Mhm. Okay.
I mean, better than it was before. I think it has to do with the server meshing.
Mm-hmm. Rags, day one.
I had a group of friends playing that day, and we had a blast. It wasn't that bad. I did have a problem with getting to my hangar, like he was saying. I had a couple issues getting to it, but the first day went real well.
Okay. Tone, day one.
For me, it was a train wreck of memory issues.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I was good.
Okay. Miss Charmy, day one. She might be away for a second.
Give me 1 moment, okay?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Sorry, I
Okay.
hit the wrong button.
Hi, welcome.
Day one, I mean, it ran smoothly for
One
me
moment, okay?
initially. I didn't get out and do a whole lot. So, I mean, I did go to my hangar, go check out a little bit, and everything seemed to behave at the moment. I think there was that issue with uh let's see, I also did not go to New Babbage. I was in a different zone
Hi. Thanks for
than
Mhm.
coming in.
everybody else. And
Sorry, I'll help you in a
I
second.
can't remember if we flew to Pyro. I think that's a yeah, I think I flew to Pyro that day. Everything went smoothly for me.
Okay.
An issue I'm still having is when I go to the Pyro or Stanton jump point going into the black hole
Mm-hmm.
wormhole, my computer simply won't show the graphic on screen.
That happened to me when I went with Charmy and uh who was it? And Shadow and the Polaris. I had the same thing.
Kaz, Kaz was with us.
Yeah, Kaz, yeah. It showed just I couldn't see the graphics and through the jump hole.
Right.
Mm. Okay. I've never had any issues with the jump point. Uh, my day one, my very first attempt, I got out of the hangar. And then I went back, and then I tried again, and I couldn't get out. I was overlapped with somebody, and I just got to the point where there was a Polaris on top of my ship, and I couldn't get out. So it was overlapping. Uh, Later on, I just waited, and then I was able to get out. But the debris that sits on top of the hangar, I don't know what the deal is with that. It was gone for a while in the 24 branch, but it's back and it's there in 4.0. Uh, I don't know what else I can say about that. It's kind of daunting to be in that situation. It bums you out. Yeah, my audio sounds duplicated because I got to work on my mic, so it's an echo. I got to figure out what's going on with that. Go ahead, Tone.
AFK for a minute.
All right. Um, that was the day one issue that I had. Once I got out, oh yeah, I went to a bunker and one of the security guards got in my way while I was attacking a combatant NPC, and I got caught in the jail loop. And I was stuck in there for 24 hours. Or no, 12 hours. So I had to server hop, server hop, server hop, and did the character repair. The character repair put me back at New Babbage, but then I still had the crime stat. Ugh. So once I got out of that, I think Miss Charmy, I told you it was so frustrating, and I finally got out of it after like 6 or 7 server hops, and finally got out. And then everything was okay. I mean, just the doing the cargo missions, doing certain things, trying to make money, I've been having issues. But then finally things started settling out and they were getting better. So it's the luck of the draw. And those that got hit with the 6,000 error where they couldn't get in, KP was locked out for what, 3 or 4 days, Brian? I think. He couldn't get back in. He was doing character repairs. He was doing arena commander, and then finally he was able to get in. I think it was like a week, but there's some people that have been locked out longer than that, and they said there's a fix coming out where they're going to be able to get back in and do stuff. So I hope that it drops sometime over the weekend. We'll see.
Next weekend, you mean?
No, it's supposed to be out this weekend. They were
Oh,
working on it,
okay.
and Benoit uh, Balt has been in the testing chat, so he's been monitoring what's going on and seeing what's happening with that. So we go from there.
Mm.
But if anybody else has anything,
Yes, missing armors.
missing armor, go ahead. Oh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Pembroke,
right.
the Pembroke
Mhm.
and the Novikov. Yeah, those were
Yep.
taken out of the stores. Um, I'm hoping in the 4.0.1 that those return to the stores. I have no idea if that's going to happen, but that's something that we need, especially if we're going to like Pyro 1, which is super hot, and the cold suit if we go to a plant that's cold. Those should be in the stores to be purchased, but not the pledge store in game.
And
I
if I
don't
could say something, Shadow,
shoot.
it's weird that they would hide those type of suits when, normally the miner and the salvager is going to need that suit. They're not the ones going to the contested zone, for the most part. I mean, every now and then, yes, but that's where I've heard that you can find these suits is in the contested zones, and it's just odd to me that that's something that you would put there for somebody who might not be playing that game loop.
Uh,
Mm.
that is
I've
odd. Good.
I've been rolling with Astro Mani's crew for a bit, and we've done a lot of contestant zones. I haven't came across any of those suits yet. I've came across like subscriber helmets and certain parts armor that are subscribers, but I haven't came across any the environmental suits or the Pembroke suits. I haven't came across it, but if you've seen it on a different stream, yeah, but I haven't came across anything like that so far.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've heard of them finding a lot of the helmets, but not necessarily the suits.
Ah,
So,
okay, okay.
so I don't know where they would be then, but I mean, it's just an odd suit to be taking away from somebody who might not be going through that game loop.
Right, right.
Well, in Stanton, we know that if you go to Aberdeen, you're gonna burn up. And
Yep.
in 24, those suits are in the stores if they haven't changed it. I mean, I have pledge
I had
suits.
3 in the hole in my inventory, but because of the new thing, I was unable to.
Yeah, I can't purchase them in 4.0. Now I have extra ones in 24, but they're not there. Backpacks,
Right.
stuff like that, they're
Yep.
gone. They're not there.
Yep.
Uh, that's another quality of life issue that they need to put back in. I would rather purchase them in game than use mine and lose them until we get another reset, something like that. So I've been avoiding the hot planets at this point in time.
Yeah, they kind of messed up that game loop.
Mm-hmm. Because we all know
Hey,
Fire loves to go to Aberdeen, and he can't.
And he probably wants to go to one of them hot planets over there, and he can't.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dyer.
I'm not sure if you guys have talked about it, or it's a sort of a touchy subject. But what do you say about the insurance purchasing of armor and weapons?
I haven't done that. when it happens, if you have it on a ship, now, from what I hear, that it's certain ships that are able to do it. If you put a
Yeah.
if you put a weapon in a rack, right, and the ship is destroyed, you get the weapon back, but you actually pay for it. It's
Yeah.
charging
Mhm.
it's charging you for the weapon. So
Yeah.
That is the we. Sorry.
go ahead, Miss Sherman, go ahead.
I didn't mean that. I keep forgetting I don't have all my stuff on mute. I go to talk to my husband, so I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No
But
worries. Yeah, go ahead,
yeah.
Doc.
I it's not the same loop around 2 years ago where people were putting maize and certain crystals on the mule and it'll duplicate it with no cost to the certain person. In this case, you're paying for, let's say you do put maize on there and it costs, uh, I don't know, $1,000 each little bale, but
Mm.
it's the same cost that you would just turn it in to get paid for. So you're not making any money. But let's say you have your subscriber, let's say the subscriber suit that you love to wear, but you don't like to wear it because you'll lose it. But if you put it on the mule and then you do certain a little thing where you remove a component, put it back, bring it back up, and you wear the suit again and you die on a planet, it's not your fault, you got killed by NPC, and when you come back to get your suit, it's not there, but you could reclaim it. But you do pay for it. You pay, I don't know, a couple of $1,000 for the suit to come back to you. So you don't
No,
you have the enjoyment to wear your subscriber suit now, but you just have to pay for it.
Okay.
I
So
found our basement door culprit, dear. Take a guess. Yep,
Um.
Good.
caught him doing it.
and
Well.
I know how much you love to run your subscriber. You like to wear your subscriber gear sometimes, Shadow, but you know when to wear it because you know for a fact you're not going to lose it, or your special gun that you love to use again. But you can now have assurance on it and say, oh, I lost my gun. I'll just reclaim it and I'll pay $1,000 for my gun again.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about this,
Or
and
your special sip, the CB.
I destroyed it, by the way, Everett. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
I yes, I blew it up. But anyway, um, Miss Charmy came up with an idea of
Okay.
how to get our stuff back. Now, in Citizen Con, they were talking about getting a blueprint for us to get the resources and get our stuff back. Miss Charby came up with something, and it's a pretty good idea of how we can get our stuff back. Now, I don't know if they're going to implement it. I have no idea when or anything like that. Uh, if Miss Charmy is there, she can explain it. But it was a pretty good idea because you go out, you are in your pledge stuff, you get killed, you get looted.
All right. Mm-hmm.
The person that loots it will have it. But we should get it back right away. Where the player who looted it should get a blueprint and be able to fabricate it. But we should get our stuff back immediately. Okay?
For a cost or free of charge?
Well, I mean, it's just like how we had to claim ships sometimes. So it would be at a minimal cost, but at least we would have ours immediately. Where if they had to fabricate it, they got to go out and get the materials, the blue, the whole 9 yards to work at recreating it. And
Right.
the only way they can have it is to recreate it.
I would also put a time limit on it. If they don't do it, it would degrade completely. simply because if you can duplicate and get a blueprint, and then you make the weapon, give it to some of your friends, and they do the same thing back and forth, you can pile up the blueprints.
Okay. But you
So
see, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Evan.
having a time limit on the blueprint to complete your thing, let's say at a reasonable time, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the quality of the ores or resources that are needed, you can have a far less quality weapon or gear than what you originally looted.
Hmm. Okay. I
This
mean,
will afford the person that did the PvP or whatever to do what they do for their game loop and get them the reward, but it's not instant gratification. They got the blueprint for it, so they want
mm-hmm.
that outfit, they got to go work for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Considering we have to pay our in real life money for that same outfit. So we already have worked really hard for it.
Right.
Right.
I agree with you, Charmaine, on that. Yeah, if I loot a, let's say, if I loot a person that has a really cool armor that I don't even have and they paid for it, I mean, I understand the getting the blueprint and then have to get the cobalt and the titanium, and I have to gather all these resources and then I could fabricate it. That's awesome. For the person that owned it, I think they shouldn't be paying for claiming it back, because you know what, I lost it. If there's like a small fee, like a processing fee, like okay, and it's gonna cost you 1,000 credits, okay,
Yeah, that's
1,000
what
credits,
I mean.
yeah.
Mm.
Kind of like how when we
But
claim our ships when we wreck them, you know, just
yep.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
Okay. But I
But
mean, I will just go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
uh I'm thinking that probably going to implement the suit lockers soon, because if they're rolling out with the assurance, claim for armor and weapons, I think the suit lockers might be implemented sooner than we think.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to look over really quick the letter from the chairman. And when they talked about uh, everything that was going on with 4.0, is it now it is important that progress made in 324.3 will remain in tied to that version and will not transfer. So all of your progression in 4.0 is going to transfer over if they go to another patch. Like we have 4.0.1 coming. They're going to try and not wipe unless something major happens. Okay? So if there's any duplicating or anything like that that's happening in 4.0 right now, personally, I don't want to see it where it's going to affect all of us.
Hmm.
That's just my take on it. It should not affect everybody. It should affect only the ones that are doing it. And that's just me because I don't do it and I play the game this particular way that I play it. Um, and I know there's a lot of us that don't do it, and we get penalized for what's happened, and I don't think that's very fair. But we know that CIG is watching accounts, watching what we do, and things of that nature. So if it's so detrimental that they have to wipe everybody, they will. But hopefully they will not. We'll see what happens with this new PTU patch that's coming down and go at it from there. But is anybody got any information or anything that they want to share before we close this Snowbirds meeting room out? I think we covered a lot of stuff that we want to see and what we are hoping for in the next update.
Give
Any-
CIG the support and the recognition for doing what they can for the time what they're doing it in.
You know what, Everett? They did not have to work over the holidays.
Exactly.
They were there for us. Christmas Day, they were doing stuff in the background, fixing things and working on stuff. I saw in testing chat a lot of devs on that day that were looking at stuff. Benoit, quite a few, Wikipedia and stuff like that. They were on, even though they were yellow. Not actually typing in anything or like that. But when it first dropped, Balt was on, and he was asking the testing chat, what's going on, what he was really involved with it, and that was good to see. But you're right. They could have just let it go, but they didn't. And kudos to the devs on getting us things that we needed um, to be able to play it. Anybody else got anything?
That pretty much covers it.
Okay. Well, I hope that everybody got things that they needed to say in the Snowbirds meeting room. It was really, really. We're in week 3, going into week 4, and we'll see what happens with the PTU and go from there. I'm Shadow Spectre 11. Thanks for Brian, Miss Charmy, Demento, Dyer, Everett, Rags, Tone. Thank you for coming through. And I'm going to call it on this one. Everybody, have a wonderful Sunday. Take care. And
Buddy, have a good one.
see you next week.